Johnson put out a big statement a couple days ago.
Yep.
What was your response or reaction when you heard about that?
First of all, when he did his deal, he didn't want pay-per-view.
Right.
He didn't want pay-per-view. He wanted upfront money, no pay-per-view. You know, he wasn't very confident in his abilities to sell pay-per-views. He has the lowest selling pay-per-view in the history of the UFC in the modern era. So, number one. Number two, I think that a fight between him and TJ Dillashaw would be something that people would actually be interested in, and could sell pay-per-views and could make money. But he absolutely refuses to fight the guy.
Well, what are his options right now? Is it take the fight?
Yeah, listen.
He has to take the fight.
The media claims he's the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world.
Right.
I think Conor McGregor is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. If you look at what that really means, what pound-for-pound means, and Conor doesn't give a shit. He'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. And if Demetrious is the pound-for-pound best guy in the world, then fight TJ Dillashaw. Fight somebody that people will actually care about and be interested in, and there you go. For the first time ever, you know, I have a fight with Demetrious Johnson where he's on his way to break the record, right? Anderson Silva's record for most title defenses.
Okay.
And TJ Dillashaw can't fight Cody No Love because Cody screwed up his back, and Cody isn't going to be back for a while. So he's like, I can make this weight. I'm already working on it and everything else, and I'm going to stop him from breaking that record.
Ooh, TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah,
oh,
and
TJ was going down to 25?
TJ's going to go down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
No. TJ's going to go down to 25 to fight DJ to stop him from breaking the record. DJ doesn't want to fight him.
Why? Why?
Tell me. You tell me. Why? It's insanity. It's first of all,
That's a great fight.
This is the first fight ever in DJ's history that he actually gets pay-per-view. He gets pay-per-view on this one. Yeah. And this is the first real fight that people will care about and want to see on pay-per-view. And he is refusing to fight TJ Dillashaw.
Do we have any quotes from him? What is he saying?
Well, he's kind of, I mean, he's saying essentially Ray Borg is next. He wants to fight Ray Borg, but it seems crazy to not want to fight
Ray Borg really isn't. I mean, if you look at Ray Borg, what's he ranked right now? 5 or 6? Yeah, the guy's ranked 5 or 6. TJ Dillashaw is a former world champion coming down from the weight class above, who's next in line for the title shot there. Absolutely, he's next in line if that's what he wants.
Man, that's and I like Ray Borg. But at the same time,
me too. It's nothing against Ray Borg.
At the same time, if you want to sell a fight, I mean, you want people to get excited,
right?
I would say the numbers would be a huge difference between Borg and the Dillashaw too on the pay-per-view.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So, listen, at the end of the day, you know how I am with that stuff. Unfortunately for DJ, you don't make the fights around here. I do.
TJ, Kenny mentioned that you may fight at 125. What is the very latest that you've heard on the Demetrious Johnson situation?
As far as I know from talking to Dana, that was the fight that was going to be matched up. That's what I'm training for right now. You know, I've heard a lot of stuff coming out of Demetrious Johnson, but I can't go back to thinking I'm fighting 35s because I've already started the process of trimming my body down, changing my whole body composition. I'm having to do a lot of work to change the way my body. I mean, I'm pretty lean 35-pounder as it is, so I'm having to change a lot, and so I got to stay on track until I hear otherwise. You know.
Now, Demetrious Johnson said he's willing to fight Cody, but he's not willing to fight you. Why?
Yeah. Because this is a realistic possibility right now that I could actually fight him. I think he's trying to find any kind of excuse to get out of this fight, in my eyes.
TJ, on record, you said that you would be willing to give DJ your show purse. Yeah. Have you said this to Dana White?
No, I mean, I'm sure he's heard me say it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to miss the weight. I've already been taking this so serious, and I've got so much confidence in me making the weight. Yeah, I've put it out in multiple interviews that go ahead because it's not going to happen, you know? That's how confident I am in the weight.
Fighting Ray Borg. You cannot believe Dana White. Obviously, he is a promoter and he goes back and forth on his words as an MMA junkie. I showed that. So I was doing negotiating to fight Ray Borg in Seattle, and next thing you know, I'm coming home from training, and it's probably the second time I found out in my career about the whole situation, about what's going to happen. And I got fucking fed up with that. The first time I found out what was going to happen in my career when I was doing a Tough 24, I found out from the Mighty Squad on my Twitch stream. And then I also found out from Ariel Helwani. And that was the first, kind of like the first little nick. And the whole situation, when it came to that, it put a very bad taste in my mouth. And the whole thing with the logistics of TJ Dillashaw, I keep on saying, I did on the MMA Hour, it's not about TJ Dillashaw. It's about somebody thinking they deserve to come down to a different weight class and get an immediate title shot. I was not a fan of it when GSP tried to do it against Michael Bisping. I told Tyron Woodley he should have got a title shot before anybody else did because he was on a 4-fight win streak and he's beating them on contender. But no, they kept going with a bigger name. And I told Tyron Woodley to his face, I said, if Damian Maia doesn't get a title shot next, it's fucked up. And let's remind everybody, Dana White told Damian Maia to his face that he's going to get a title shot. So for me, I try to look at myself as the purist of mixed martial art to where I fight the #1 contender every single time they put me into it. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, TJ Dillashaw is not the #1 contender. Okay, a lot of you people like to believe he is, but if you look at the stats, he hasn't fought one time in the flyweight division. And if TJ came down to flyweight and got a fight and won one, and then went to a title shot, then we all wouldn't be having this conversation. But that's not the case right now. And so for me, I think that article I put out at MMA Fighting, that statement kind of says it all there. That at one point the UFC is saying that Ray Borg is #1 contender, and I accepted that fight. And so now we're just in this big shit show, and I believe the ball is in their court. But I kind of laid it out there on that thing that it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, Lucia.
Does DJ think he'll end up fighting TJ after all? And this is my favorite question. We were talking about this last night. Does that fight with TJ not interest you if Cody's back doesn't get magically fixed with a German voodoo?
Yeah, a German voodoo.
I don't know.
You know what?
Dana White's firing you right now.
Yeah, right. To be honest with you, it doesn't interest me because there's other guys in the flyweight division that have not been defeated yet. If he was a champion, absolutely. Me and TJ were about to fight 2 years ago when he was a champion, and I was asked for a $2 million payday. Now TJ Dillashaw is, taking a pay cut coming on flyweight. But if he came down and he had a win or 2 wins, absolutely. But people are like, "This is your biggest fight."
You saying go do something?
All right,
come
so
to me, right?
I'm not listening to you, stage manager. I think you're wrong. I just want to point that out. And I think, guys, seriously, I think the fight between TJ and DJ would be awesome and needs to happen. I think, that's really something I want to see. And yeah, TJ and DJ, 2 former champion, 1
What are
champion.
you doing, pretty girl, huh?
We're getting you in this. We're getting you in this. We're going to sell this fight.
And so, based on your statement, there does seem to have been a back and forth where you said, okay, I'm uncomfortable with the idea of TJ going down because what if he misses weight and now it's not a title fight anymore, and so I don't get to break the record in my hometown. And so, can you promise me X amount? Can you promise me this, that? And that didn't seem to be the case. When did all that stuff happen?
That happened right when Matt was talking to Mick, and they said, all right, he's going to fight TJ. And Matt goes, perfect. Just so you guys know, we want this in the contract and stipulation that if TJ does not make weight, TJ gets his guaranteed pay, and he also gets TJ's pay, and the fight's off. There's no more fight. And then they responded back, well, we can't guarantee that, What we can guarantee is that Ray Borg is going to be in the car, and if TJ doesn't make weight, whether it's medical reasons or something happens, because let's be honest, shit happens. People, you're on track to make weight, next thing you know, you pass out and mess up, or you have, stomach cramping. It's happened to flyweights before. It's happened to Johnny Hendricks, Kevin Gastelum. The list goes on. That stuff happens, but that's what we offered, and Matt was like, what is this? Is this fucking amateur hour? This is the shit you do at smokers and amateur shows. You show up to fight, I'm like, oh, this guy didn't make weight, but you can fight one of these guys. This is the UFC. This is supposed to be the pinnacle of mixed martial arts, and this is how we're negotiating that. Well, if this guy doesn't make weight, you can fight this guy. And Matt was like, no, that's not how we're doing. This is not how a champion who's about to break the record for the most consecutive title defenses does business. If, like I said, if TJ or if Aljamain Sterling, Rafael Santo, anybody wants a title shot, if John Dodson wanted to come back to the flyweight division and try to get a immediate title shot, they can jump in line like everybody else has.
Right.
I don't see what the problem is. Brad Pickett did it, and he has a win over me. He wasn't bitching complaining. He was like, I'm going to work my way up the ranks. I'm going to beat Demetrious Johnson. Perfect. Let's make it happen.
But when I heard his next comment, I said this at the top of the show. I said, I thought that this was the straw that broke the camel's back for you. When he said this, at the end of the day, you know how I am with this stuff. Unfortunately for DJ, you don't make the fights around here. I do. So that's the fight we're pushing for.
What went wrong with the weight cut?
What went wrong is this was my first, no excuses. I should have, been a little bit more professional. But this was my first time doing early weigh-ins, and weigh-ins for me used to be an all-day cut type thing. Like, to be honest, my weight was the morning of was where it's at. Sometimes it's been done before many times, but with that early weigh-ins, we couldn't make it an all-day cut like we have before in the past. So a lot of it came down to time. Even though I was, a few pounds over, we did cut to the very, very last minute, and trying to, reach it as close to as we can. But I just need to change some things in my personal life, my dieting a little bit more, working with the nutritionist, and just come in the fight week a little bit lighter is the only thing. It's not that I can't make the weight. I just need to make some adjustments.